Hello, all my fans. I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about how Dynamite sold 130,000 copies of Vampirella by not listening to SJWs. Well, who knew that if you disregarded the opinions of a bunch of over-opinionated busybodies and pearl clutchers, you'd be able to make a bunch of money. They did this by not listening to them on Twitter, by people who continue to try to disparage Christopher Priest, the writer of Vampirella, and in doing so, they sold 130,000 copies of Vampirella issue 1. And this is good. Apparently, with IDW going down the drain, Dynamite Entertainment is set up to become the third biggest comic publisher in America. And this is a good thing. This will help the industry immensely. Now, other news about this is that SJWs have been continuously trying to link the creator, one of the creators of the Vampirella series that sold 130 copies in pre-order sales, to one Ethan Van Sciver, famous for his Cyber Frog and Green Lantern stories. And I'm talking like this because I found it kind of funny. Trying to sound like a news reporter and all that. And I'm giving you this news straight up and telling you that Dynamite is on the right track to saving their company. Because in other news, IDW is trying to sell itself, and in doing so, they are destroying their fan base by being woke and then going broke. They have not enough people to buy their comics anymore, and their efforts have continuously, like the other SJW infestation and other comics companies, have destroyed the direct market, and comic shops are closing left and right. And thus, with this light that Dynamite has just offered America and the comics reader of America, a new light that might promote new comics and better comics for the consumer. And I will tell you this much. If they keep this up, IDW will go the way of the turkey, but Dynamite will probably even outlast Marvel and DC at the current rate. Because at this point, Marvel can only drool at such money that Dynamite is making, especially when they have artwork of Vampirella that certain artists are doing right now. Like John Perez, I've heard, is going to be doing the cover of one of the Vampirella issues, maybe even issue number 1, but I'm not quite sure. Now, with this return to glory for a character like Vampirella, we can only hope that the series itself will be a classic one. And in other news, that Christopher Priest says he will give his best efforts in making this comic book. He's not listening to any SJWs and not taking any of their comments seriously. And this is coming from an African-American man who Christopher Priest is, which is a good thing. I have to applaud him for his bravery in facing these damn people who refuse to see what is going on. Well, they were protesters and extremists before they got into the comics industry, and they are trying to use it to promote their ideology and their means to try and get power. And others have tried to get on the bandwagon thinking that this is what young people are into, when they clearly have forgotten everything that got them up to that point anyway. Anyone who's been in comic books for the last 30 years should know what sells, and not listen to these people when they tell you this is what young people are into. No, it is not. Now, with the Vampirella selling 130,000 copies for its first issue, most likely it will reach one in the top 10 of Diamond's lists. And this is going to help this comic book even further. With it being listed in one of the top 10 brackets of the comic book industry, it will sell even more copies, which will make even more money for Dynamite. Now, all this has also come ironically from Bleeding Fool, who have been trying to tank the Vampirella comic book by trying to link it to Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate. I did not make myself clear on that earlier in the video. Bleeding Fool has been trying to tank Christopher Priest's project because he refuses to side with the SJWs or the NPCs. Now, with Bleeding Fool doing this, it has basically, with what they've done now, has given them back some of their journalistic cred, which they have been losing by continuing the harassment campaign of both Christopher Priest, his project, and Dynamite Entertainment itself, which yielded Dynamite finally saying that they will no longer listen to their detractors and just try now to bring forth good and profitable projects to the comic readers market. Now, with Bleeding Fool reporting on this, it is proven once again that Comicsgate is right, and that most likely in the future, projects that are being crowdfunded and are trying to make a good project to make money with will succeed, and SJWs will continuously lose in the retrospect because they have no one would want to read. Now, I know that Bleeding Cool is the actual name of the website, but I'm going to be calling them Bleeding Fool in this video. Now, they've also been attacking Christopher Priest for his religious beliefs because he is a minister. And he's a minister who will work on comic books like Vampirella, which is just awesome when you think about it. Now, they've been attacking him for his religious beliefs, as well as saying there's only no such thing as 36 genders, that there are only 2 genders, men and women, and he has been taking flack for that for the past few years now. And also, they have been going after him because of his religious beliefs. Christopher Priest, I salute you for your bravery and your determination to sell a good project. As well, in other news, as I've said before, they have been also trying to poison the well, as others have said, by trying to connect Christopher Priest with Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate, saying that he's a far-right extremist. Even though Christopher Priest is a religious man and an African-American man, all in one, who writes comics, who just wants to be left alone to pursue his career. But no, we get such websites as Bleeding Cool, or as I've said, Bleeding Fool, and Newsarama continuously attacking him over such trivialities as saying that there's only 2 genders, that he himself and others have only used in a non-racist or non-derogatory manner. This is a sad fact of our current civilization, that such tactics are used on good men and women who just want to make a good profit for their families and for themselves. Now, I'll tell you this much. When Vampirella issue 1 comes out, we should all try and buy an issue. Just hold it up to the faces of SJWs everywhere and say, no, you are not going to tell us what to do. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to me. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit that like button and leave some comments down below. And if you're watching this on BitChute, on my BitChute channel, Comic Freak, subscribe there too. And remember, keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. Well, that's it for today. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.